But you got to shift the weight. Some stuff you ain't supposed to be carrying, and some stuff God is like designing you, molding you and building you. So you cannot, like, the weight that you have when it comes to that unforgiveness, God can't put the weight that he need when it come down to me being jokey, me being the light of the room. I can't have that weight added on if I'm still holding on. I'm gonna use it as that belly weight of unforgiveness. Okay, so it's just like that kind of shifted things for me.
You're a minister. Like, okay. You're a minister, ain't you?
Hello, we're back. So this is gonna be part 2 of our self-love, self-sabotaging series.
Can you have a series or 2?
Maybe.
Collection.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it a series.
Okay, cool.
So this time we want to tap into, and if you haven't seen our video, it'll be linked up at the top. Self-love versus self-sabotage. But this one we want to talk about how important it is for you. This is you. This is still Valentine's Day weekend, and want to talk about how important it is for you to heal and for you to live the life of forgiveness.
Okay, well, we'll talk about our experiences with healing and forgiveness and encourage you to go on the path of healing and forgiveness. Yes. Okay. So when we talk about healing, what are we healing from?
Everything.
No, for real.
People. You. Things that you have done that
That's
you
good. We don't think about that sometimes.
Things that you have done that you don't approve of.
Your new self,
yeah. People's words, people's actions. My main thing is people and their actions and their words.
Yeah, I would say me and my actions.
Okay, so that's your thing. Okay, because when it comes down to who people be playing, talking about who hurt you. If you look at certain people and they have certain like stinks. Some people stanky. Some people got stank attitudes and stuff like that who hurt you, but it really could literally be themselves or a whole list of people. That's what unforgiveness can look like. So if you walk around mad at the world, who hurt you or what hurt you? And that's what this is going to be about, like figuring it out for yourself based on our stories and our situations, and hopefully it brings you on a path of healing or helps you on your journey, your healing journey already.
Okay, so what has healing looked like for us?
Ugly.
It's very, very ugly, very uncomfortable. Yeah. And also thinking that you got past something. And at the time you might have, and then
getting re-triggered.
Yeah. Life will throw something else at you that reminds you of that. And it's like, I thought I dealt with this already. And you might have, but it was just still some more junk that needed to come up out of you.
Lingering feelings, lingering emotions, unhealed wounds, all of that. You said, what does it look like?
What has it looked like for us?
Yeah. We always say that healing is not non-linear, so it's not a straight path. And we also talked about, come on, man.
I'm exhausted. Healing looks like taking naps when you need to. Go ahead. I'm about to take a nap after this.
But healing looks different for every single person, and it also looks like different for every situation. Because we talked about it in our other videos that you could be going through the same exact situation. Your healing journey looks differently for each one.
Certain things can trigger you differently. Your response to certain things can be different. It's just, there is no blueprint, child. Yeah. There's no blueprint.
No, there is no, and we talked about the self-help books and stuff like that, but you literally have to go based on like how you feeling. Some stuff in different seasons, some self-care doesn't work for you because like journaling in one season didn't work for me. I don't want to read what I'm going through. I don't want to reread this. I don't want to remember this. I don't want to write. I don't feel like it. listening to music sometimes it only brings pain, especially listening to sad songs or something like that. Like, this song reminds me. She's the one who'll be like, oh, I remember this song's from circa 2008 when I was girl.
For real.
Why?
It's just like a whole thing. Y'all got them songs that y'all listen to and be like, I know exactly what happened to this on this date.
And so it's just like some things can be triggering for you as well. So the number one thing would be to identify it. Like, identify the trigger, the emotion you feeling, like understanding how you feel, and identify the situation that caused you to be here in this situation.
And sometimes that has taken me talking to somebody else. Like, me just talking to me, it's just like it's going in a circle. I don't know. I feel like this. So it's me saying it out loud. I was talking to my therapist today, and she said, well, I can't exactly remember the conversation, so I got to paraphrase. She was like, well, does it make you feel like this? Oh, does it make you feel like you're doing something wrong? And I said, well, no, because this. And I was like, well, I can see your point. It does. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I didn't feel, because I don't like when therapists say something, and I don't like to be the person to be like, you know what, you're right. Just because they're the therapist don't mean they're right. Like, let me come to the conclusion for myself, and not to say that she wasn't doing that, but sometimes it takes for you to walk things out, talk it out, for it to make sense to you, for you to be able to identify what's happening.
Yeah.
So
it does help. And because, like, the conversations in your head, it depends on you as well. Like, sometimes talking to yourself, you are the only person you can get offended by, or you don't get offended by. So if you say something like if she would say, okay, but how many if we're talking about relationships, how many red flags did you see? Girl, if you don't stop talking to me, you ain't never been in my shoes, you ain't never had no relationship, please go find you some business, right? Okay, if you said that to yourself, it would be like, okay, uncomfortable. you pissing you off? Okay, but you're gonna answer that question though in your head. Like, I might have seen some red flags day 1, day 1.5, and day 2, and we all the way at day 365. You know what I'm saying?
So to that point, you also should check the source of where the information or the feedback is coming from, especially if you ask me for feedback. You can get offended if you choose to, but you ask me.
Yeah.
And you know my character, you know I mean well. So it's a choice for you to get offended, or you can just listen to what I'm saying, choose to receive it, or you can choose to hold it in your hand, put it on the table, and decide what you want to do with it later.
Okay.
So yeah, be careful with who you ask for feedback too, because if you ask, you gotta listen to what they talk about.
Yeah, and also be mindful of who you give access to in that season. So they say you can't heal in a place that you were hurt in. So you have to be mindful because sometimes you don't realize it until it's almost like too late. Because when you're in such a vulnerable space of healing, whether it's like from something physical, from something emotional, from something spiritual or mental, like, because spiritual could be from a church person who went to your church, or spiritual leader, or something like that. But if you go through something and you ask them for help, and then their response triggers that even more, then it's like you also have been a problem. Now I'm in a double rabbit hole because I thought I needed help. I went to go ask for help, and the person that I asked also triggered me. So you have to be mindful of that as well. I'm talking about a trusted person, like somebody
who has wisdom.
Yeah, for sure, someone who has wisdom, and somebody who you usually have a healthy relationship with. Like, if it's somebody who you have a toxic relationship with, and you try to ask them for advice, that's like, you might as well talk to yourself and go down that rabbit hole yourself, because that's not really like going to be helpful. So in your healing season, picking the right person to ask for help is important, just as important as well as sharing what's going on.
Yeah. Sometimes healing takes time. Like, you can sit there and talk about it all day if you want to.
Yeah.
It will not speed up the healing process.
Yeah. For some.
Yeah. There were some things that took time. It took years. It took months to just process through. And I was about to say, get over it. No, ma'am. There is no getting over. I've tried to get over things, and it just prolongs the process.
So it takes time, but it's also timing.
What do you mean?
Because the timing of something, like, I was trying to, there was a situation maybe a few years ago with, like, you know, people you grew up with type of stuff, like family or whatever. And there was a situation where I couldn't, for the life of me, like, try and forgive, because it was like I was always triggered by something, but I kept trying to, like, figure out, okay, well, I'm trying to forgive them, you know, for myself, so I can live lighter, so I'm not mean and nasty to people and stuff like that. But because that, at the end of the day, it's a part of my character, but it's not who I am. Like, it's not in totality of who I am. Dealing with them, I was just like nasty all the time, because cold shoulder, please. Cold body. That's how I was treating them. But it took time, as in I had to get to a point where I was just like, I don't want this no more. It's too heavy. I don't care. Like, whatever they got going on, I don't want no parts, and it's okay. Like, and it's totally fine. So timing of it, I wasn't ready to let certain things go because of the fact that, but they're family. Like, this is people who I grew up with or whatever. I wasn't ready to let certain things go because of that. But when it's almost like a timing of it, when you have, it's like maturity and stuff like that. So some stuff you're not really supposed to let go of until you have all the pieces. Does that make sense? So sometimes it's like you think you're ready, and that's the part of you keep getting re-triggered.
Or thought you was healed from something and you're really not?
Yeah, sometimes in order to do the work, it looks like letting time pass. Like, letting time pass as in maybe not reaching out to anybody who is triggering you. Letting time pass as in, sometimes it looks like going back into the fire and seeing, I'm going to focus on me whenever I get there. Like, I'm going to try and control my reaction to it because I can't control them. So it looks like sometimes what helped me was I was being forced to be around them sometimes when I didn't want to be. And so I would try to focus on my reaction of how I handled them. If being nasty is not something I want to be, then try to be nicer or just be you, like, and keep conversations to a minimum. And that's what helped me to be like, it is what it is. I don't care no more. Like, I'm cool. So that's what I mean, as in you got to have all the pieces. Sometimes you don't have to be around people to help me, Lord. Sometimes you don't have to be around people to know that you're not going to fully be over it. And sometimes you don't have to be around people to also forgive them. Like, it can work both ways. But sometimes you have to put yourself in a position to prove to yourself that you are better. Like, you made your mind up to not be this nasty, mean person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it kind of reminds me that a lot of times when we do heal, it's a lot of things we have to do we don't want to do. Like, it's so uncomfortable. And to your point, I think it's about knowing yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, challenge yourself.
Yeah, you just have to know where you are. And if you literally don't have the capacity to be around them, don't force it. If you have to be around them for whatever reason, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm going to avoid you. Or you speaking, move on about your day and don't even force that conversation.
But if that avoidance becomes too heavy on you, like, if you literally, because it was heavy on me, and I felt like I was going out of my way to not speak. Like, that's too much. Just say a cute little, hey, how you doing? I'm good. A little fake side hug, a little church hug. I'm good.
Okay.
How are you? Oh, good. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm being silly. I don't know. Make something.
Yeah, one thing I said to Arie, we had a conversation. She was like, I don't like being myself. Like, I don't like being silly around this person because they shouldn't have access to me. They shouldn't be get to see me in my glory, or get to see me
and
being silly
bloom.
and get to receive
and
like my humor.
Yeah.
And I said, it's you, like you do what I say?
You tell me.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah. No, she was just saying, like, if it's who you are, it could also be like a gift from God, and you are not using your gift.
That was good. I wasn't even finna say that. Go ahead now.
It doesn't matter like what space you're in. It's almost like you're not being obedient, right? I still feel like that though. I still feel like some people just don't deserve my joy, and they don't deserve to laugh at my jokes. My jokes are really good.
And I also think though that it's kind of taken away. I think I told you too. It's kind of taken away from you. Like now I got an attitude because I don't like this person in the room. It's taken away my joy. If I'm usually a joyous, happy, jokey person, and now all of a sudden I'm just I'm not having fun now. Like I'm gonna be me.
Yeah. And
you gonna watch and see what you missing.
Fair. And to that point, I actually did still had a good time, and I was actually funnier.
That's good. Oh, because you was laying it on thick.
Yeah.
Well,
no. No. Because I just didn't care. It takes too much effort to care sometimes. And like we talked about in the last video, how I love hate how emotionally and spiritually in tune I am. It's also like the sympathy thing when it comes to forgiveness. I can feel that for them. I can feel when people are sad that that makes me emotional. That's good. I don't care though, but it makes it makes me sad that they're sad, but it's also like no. It's like a boundary. Yeah. Standing 10 toes down on business because this is your fault. You did this. You spoke out of your neck or your booty hole, whichever one suited you. You spoke out of it, okay? And now you got to sit with it. Mm-hmm. So it's just like I can understand that part, and that's what makes forgiveness hard hard and challenging for me, because I can feel how uncomfortable I make other people. In turn, like if they treat me wrong, I feel how I shift the room, and sometimes I just don't care because you did it to yourself.
Is it sympathy and empathy?
It's all of the above, but it's also me setting a boundary for myself because you're not gonna do this to me again. Like, but that's I'm working through that when it comes to my my jokes, because it lightens the room. And also because I play so much, sometimes it lightens the room to where people think they could come up and approach me and like think things are back to normal, and it's not. So that part, I'm working on that part, because we not cool, but I got to keep it cute. You don't want to embarrass people. Like, that's not really the goal. Yeah. In front of, like, you don't want to cause a scene. If that's like, let's say you had like a party or something, y'all supposed to be kicking it, having a good time. And because you make a joke and you make the vibes fun, people just think y'all friends or cool, or I don't know. But yeah, so working on that. But go ahead.
In our Hard Truths video, we talked about forgiveness does not mean reconciliation.
Yeah. So
basically, just because I forgive somebody does not necessarily mean that we'll ever have a relationship again. So I think it's important to remember that just because you forgive does not mean that you are allowing access again, or that you are allowing the person to, or giving them permission to do the same thing that they did again. And people always say forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. It truly is, because it's taking up space.
Yeah.
Like, release
it's
that.
Heavy, yeah. Some stuff is heavy and you weren't designed to carry it.
Literally was not.
Yeah. But it's still hard.
For sure.
Like, some days I'll be like, well, my backpack is big enough. So
I think you got a little bit more. Speaking of, she be treating her little carry-on like that too. That backpack be Heavy.
Because
I think I just got a little bit more room.
I do, and then you got to sit on it. You got to sit on the bag, sit on the suitcase, because
wiggle around.
Yeah, you got to, and then rock back and forth. Zip, zip.
Yeah.
Zip.
Been there before.
Okay, so
been there before.
So sometimes I have the capacity to hold on to it until, but unforgiveness looks like, for me, being sick,
like physically
sick. Unforgiveness to me looks like losing weight or gaining weight. And unforgiveness can look like we talked about my mood. Like, if I'm such a jokey, fun, lively person, it would affect that, and I would be like, I will be somebody you won't even want to be around. And that's poisonous.
Yeah, I would say for me, and I feel like a little bit for you too. I get anxiety
around me,
around you.
Oh,
yeah. Sometimes if I know how she feel about somebody else, I'm like, oh, what's she gonna do, Lord? I don't know. But if I have to be, mind you, I would say, I guess it's forgiving. I just be letting it go. I don't care that much. I be caring, but I don't care. I don't got the capacity. But in the spaces that I have been unforgiving with people, you know what? I take that back. If you really, really did me dirty, or you had an instance where I let you in and you just wreck it, Ralph, I get anxiety if I have to be around them, because I don't know how I'm going to react.
Now I'm interested to know who and what situation, because
we'll talk about that later. But I would think about a past situation and I would get anxious. Literally, I could sit here today, think about something that happened of somebody that I just do not rock with, and it's not many, but still it happened. Or even if I've forgiven them and just moved on, I can still feel it. I guess if I can still feel it, that means I ain't let it go. So.
Yeah. Something to unpack in therapy.
I don't think it's that deep. It's just, I think also memories are memories a lot of times, and there are some memories. I know I got short term, or they say
no air quotes.
CRS, can't remember shit.
Yeah.
There are some memories that are still vivid. And Ariel got a memory of an elephant, and I know you say, like, sometimes it's like I can remember that day exactly what happened, exactly how I felt. And there are some memories, those are the ones that be giving me anxiety, because I know exactly what happened, and I'll smack you to this day.
Yeah, there's some people.
Or I can't even believe you had the audacity.
Caucasity is a lot of things.
That too, yeah. So forgiveness is quite interesting. But at the end of the day, it's necessary.
It is. Like,
it's necessary
for you to be lighter. Like, because at this big old age, some stuff is just too heavy for me to carry. Like, to want to just keep going. And that's where the forgiveness, without an apology, type of thing, like, or closure conversation.
Yeah, forgiveness does not always require closer conversations. Like, sometimes you'll never talk to the person again, and you have to decide, hey, all right, I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. It was really good. I forgot. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's more so, I mean, like, yes, it is for you.
Oh,
go ahead. See?
Yeah. She be knowing. It's for me. Forgiveness is mandatory, because I refuse to give you that much power over me. I just refuse for every time I see you, for me to get bent out of shape. And for you to know that I get bent out of shape every time I see you, just imagine. I can't even, it's sickening to give somebody that much power over me.
So that's
and we talking about, and I'm not talking about the super deep trauma, you know what I'm saying, that it takes some years to let go of. I understand that, but
yeah, so normal things that normal people would be like, that's true. You can't have no power over me. I forgive. Okay. That stuff don't work on me. I have the power. I have the power to slap you. And the power you think, yeah, I got power. I made her mad. Say that to my face. That doesn't work. It doesn't work for some reason. It pisses me off.
I think some people get more offended when you give them no energy than people.
No, and I wish I could.
Well, okay.
But because there are so many emotions in me, I feel yours being proud. I feel yours also being, why is she acting like that? Because you did it. I feel all of these things. There's no way that I could ever look at you and be like, oh, that was a young man who ripped my heart to pieces. Hey, how you doing? No. God bless you. There's no way, no way that I will be able to sit there calmly and do that unless God works through me, in me, to me, down to me, above me, around me. There is no way that I can do that. I don't even know a specific situation that I was able to like give no reaction. Because my give no reaction looks like me harboring the fact that I gave no reaction and now I'm pissed. I had no reaction. I said nothing.
To be fair, no, I can't say that because I'm about to say, to be fair, I usually give no reaction to people who don't really mean nothing to me. But then there was this one time, that girl in Cali who had said what she said. And I'm still mad I ain't say nothing. Like, it happened 4 years ago, and I'm still mad. So I take that back. And I ain't even know old girl, so I take it back.
Yeah, some stuff so it's almost like during this forgiveness journey, find what works for you. It literally, whether it's watching a sermon, watching 20 sermons. I think I was on my 21st when I watched Sarah J. Roberts saying shift the weight, because she was basically saying like a plane. The airplane, the first plane was a real little light, flimsy plane, but it still went up. But in order for it to reach altitude, it had to add more weight onto it, right? But you got to shift the weight. Some stuff you ain't supposed to be carrying, and some stuff God is like designing you, molding you and building you. So you cannot, like the weight that you have when it comes to that unforgiveness, God can't put the weight that he need when it come down to me being jokey, me being the light of the room. I can't have that weight added on if I'm still holding on. I'm going to use it as that belly weight of unforgiveness. Okay. So it's just like, that kind of shifted things for me.
You're a minister. Like, okay. You're a minister, ain't you?
Yeah, I do a lot of things. Got a lot of gifts. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, so it's just like, find what works for you, but you got to do the work. There are out of 100 now, there are probably 2 to 3 I still have to forgive. But last year I forgave a lot of people. And well, in the past 4 years, I forgave a lot of people. I have forgiven. So it's almost like, do what works for you. I'm on a path now that God is not going to release my blessings until I forgive. And that's making me sick. That's what works for me.
That's the motivation.
That's what works for me. God is not going to make me that millionaire unless. And if you knew what it was that was going to take you to the next level, would you do it?
Probably not. Or if you didn't know and God told you to do it and he didn't tell you why to do it, you said, no, I ain't doing it. And he was this close. Yeah. So you better do it.
So that's why, I got to put myself through boot camp.
Yeah.
And get it done.
Okay, so what are the tools that we can use, or what are tools that we have used towards healing? So I would say for me, it was therapy. I would say, as much as I hate it, because I like to do stuff on my own, including other people in my healing journey. Okay. So just rallying support from different people. And I'm not saying telling the whole world your problems. I'm just saying my sister, my brother, my mom, my grandmother, just stuff like that. Just certain people around me to pray for me or to send me encouragement. One time my therapist sent me like a little email. I had to do something that day. She was like, you're being brave today. Just stuff like that. You better get your folks around you.
That's cute.
Yeah, it was really nice.
So nice. It was like number.
No, she really cool though. But yeah, just get people around you to help you, support you, and hold you accountable for when.
Okay, you're slipping back. That's good. What tools have we used?
I mean, we can talk about your isolation and just removing yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that was necessary because that was the setting boundaries for me.
What did isolation look like?
Isolation looked like eat, go to my room. It looked like yeah, eat in my room. As a matter of fact, some days it was because it was a space where I knew how I was. I know how I am. I could shift the room. We talked about this, shift the atmosphere. So if I didn't have anything nice to say, I'd rather not talk at all. There were times where I'm completely depressed, and people will be like, "Hey, how you doing? You know what's up? Gone."
No, for real.
Like gone.
How you doing?
Nah, go on, find you some business. Like you can't talk to people like that. So I decided to stay in my room. There was a lot of quietness. There was some TV, some binge watch, but not really. But it was just like, because usually it would be watch Love and Hip Hop to escape reality. But that type of drama was like, but I needed to have peace and quiet because, like, what's next? Lord, right now, I'm irritated. I'm like, I'll try to read the Bible. Okay, I'm a journal this because this season was I need to write about this because I need to remember this, or because of how depressed I was. Whoever find this journal, I need y'all to know what happened. Yeah, so that was, got goosebumps. So that was my isolation, but it helped me because when I was ready, I came out the room. But I needed that quiet. Everything was I was so loud. Spiritual torment was so loud. I needed to sit especially with my light on, because at nighttime it got a little scary. But so that was needed for me in this season. Isolation before has not always been good for me, but this season, okay, suicidal thoughts, let me hear them. I can't do none of that. No. So what's next? Let me hear them. No, you ain't got no good ideas? Then what are we doing? Stop talking to me. And that's literally, that's literally how it was. Because ain't nobody finna drink no bleach or nothing crazy. Please, my inside, I don't need to clean my insides like that and then pump my stomach.
Yeah, don't let it work.
Come on, don't.
Oh, let me start.
Shut up.
Don't let it not work.
Yeah, right, exactly. Don't let nothing not work. Getting into a car accident. Oh, she broke 92 bones out of 102 in a full body cast. And I'm claustrophobic. I'm alive for this? Oh, please. Take the IV out right now. Hey, beep, nurse. Smother me with a pill. Because what am I doing in a full body cast? So all of that time, I had to think all this stuff through. Okay, if you doing this, that's going to be traumatizing the people who find you. Like, no, none of this is going to work. I'm too cute to be, I ain't going to say what I'm too cute. I'm too cute. Yeah, so it's just, that moment, I needed those moments to hear myself talk, process it through, and say, you sounding crazy, but what's next? I don't feel like doing nothing. Okay, but like, you don't want to, okay, so like, what we doing? And so I needed to sit. So isolation is good if you know what to do with it. I keep saying that, but I have to keep saying that because it's like, I don't need people sending me messages like, isolation ain't good for you. It is. For me, it healed me.
Yeah. I think it's a we keep saying season, but it's a space in your life where isolation may be good.
And this is a mature season. I've never been in this space before. I've never been this mature y'all are speaking to the most mature person.
That's good.
The most mature Ariel y'all gonna get. And I still want to fight. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean,
it's process.
You might be a fight.
Now we need to go to kickboxing class for real.
That'll be good. Okay, so healing also looks like getting out and doing things.
Yeah.
So I know for me, when I am stressed, when I am sick, when I am done, I am clink locked up,
blanket,
jaw tight. Like I don't want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'll shut down. So healing for me looks like movement. Mm-hmm. Feeling from different things, whatever they look like.
Movement,
going for a walk when it's warm outside, not cold. But sometimes
hey.
Let it revive your lungs. Freeze them. I don't know. Sometimes the shock of the air will wake you up.
Hey, yeah, your cold plunge right there.
Yeah. Sometimes it looks like just getting out the house, going for a drive. Coming back home.
I love a good drive. One time my sister was like, "Where do y'all be going? Just get in your car, drive. I need to go for a drive." I said one day I just drove straight down one street, and turned right back around. Came back. I drove until I couldn't drive no more. It helped. Next time I'm doing a road trip. But yeah, no, that's good. Movement. And if you ain't got no money, that still looks like going to the lakefront, going to a library.
Yeah. Going to a park.
Yeah. Even if you don't read a book, maybe go into a library, find a stack of books, read a chapter in each book, and put them hoes back, and go get your favorite coffee. That's if it's $2 Thursdays or something. I don't know, but it's doing something outside of your usual routine that is going to bring you some sort of joy, some sort of moment of reflection, a time where you can think. If you have kids, I'm sorry, I don't really know. Get in the shower.
You can get in the shower. You can.
And I'm talking about a long shower, a long bath. I've created products for those things. Glow with Flow. Okay, myglowwithflow.com. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I created products for those things in particular. Like healing for me looked like using my body slushy, my sugar scrub, and washing the day away and watching it go down the drain. Like, do use stuff. It's almost like visualization techniques. If y'all need help, go on ChatGPT and say, hey friend, y'all gotta be nice.
Or Google, child. You don't use Chat.
But ChatGPT is a free platform. So use ChatGPT and say, hey, give me some visualization exercises and techniques for healing, forgiveness. And they'll say, act like you're holding on to balloons, and then release one balloon at a time of things that you want to forgive. Like they'll give you those things. You just have to know what to ask for. So use that prompt as a start. But it's just like doing things that give you a moment of reflection so you can process. Yeah. And also talking to other people too in that time. Meet somebody for lunch. Mm-hmm. If they rich, tell them to pay for it this time and you got them next round.
Or tell a stranger, child. You can tell somebody your business you ain't never seen before. Who would they tell? Somebody else? They don't know you. You tell them a fake name.
True. That's fair.
To recap, healing is not linear. So give yourself grace. Mm-hmm. And if you double back, take 2 steps forward to come a step forward, to go forward back, to come up 3. Life is life, child.
Life is life. As long as you are trying. Yeah. And I'm talking about full-blown trying.
That's I'm not. You have people holding you accountable.
Yeah.
Like, girl, okay, you gave 3% effort.
Yeah.
You can give at least 10 more.
Yeah, and I mean, you can do it without having people. You can. It's possible. Again, depending on how you handle your isolation seasons. But it is best if you have someone, especially a therapist, to professionally guide you. Yeah. On your path forward.
And let's be very clear, if you haven't been in therapy. Therapy is not just telling your therapist your problems. They listen, they send you on about your way, or they give you advice and say, all right, go. Mm-hmm. They kind of help you unravel your brain.
Yeah.
They help
piece
you
by
make
piece.
sense. And also, there's been a lot of times where I would tell my therapist something, I would talk it out, and then come up with a solution on my own. She just listened or ask questions to help me see it from a different point of view. So,
and that's really the point of therapy. The point of therapy is for them to help you come up with solutions, not necessarily for them to give you advice. but they're there to professionally guide you for both scenarios. So just take one day at a time, friend. Okay. And especially this Valentine's Day weekend, if you don't have nobody, you have yourself. Okay. So if today looks like sitting down, watching your favorite show, go ahead, order you some food, get that heart-shaped pizza at Domino's or wherever they got, and just enjoy. Okay. You got this. It is a journey, and take one day at a time. That's the best way to do it. Okay. Enjoy. And thank you for watching one of our days of 30. Yeah. We are almost done, more than halfway through.
Yeah, I'm losing track of my days now. I don't even know what day I'm on.
Exactly. So we just gonna keep this thing rolling. But we love y'all. Peace.